Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode of Slow Customs. And in today's episode, we'll be looking at my new and improved Sam. Now, I believe 6-ish months ago, I had made a bigger version of Sam, and it worked as a Sam model, but over the 6 months, I just really wasn't happy with how he looked. Like, he just looked really weird with a rigid boiler, a crappy chassis. So I've decided to remake my Sam, and he looks a lot better. So let's get into it. This new Sam uses the original Sam wheels. I figured might as well just repurpose them because I'm not really going to do much with the old Sam. So I tore those off, stripped them pretty much of all hot glue, and started fresh. I did remove the magnets in between the chassis to give it a little bit more realism, because I had added Lego turntables to the top of them. You can see right there. I added Lego turntables to allow the articulation just like the actual Blue Ridge. So you can see that there's a plate there that just holds it in place with a Lego turntable piece glued onto just about the center of the wheel there. So it works really good. It's a strong connection, and it makes it good for transportation. So I'm really proud of how that came out. So it does look a little weird with the gap in between the wheels and the main footplate there, but you don't really notice it too much. I might cover it up in the future, I don't know. Anyway, so the front of him here, this is the original. Didn't really do anything. All I did was cut down the section here that kind of held it on, and I just basically made sure it didn't hit his boiler here and his footplate. Now his boiler is actually made out of a kid dowel thing. I got it from one of those wooden toys that you would stack the rings on top. It was like a baby toy. It was really old and crappy, and it was broken. So I decided just to use the dowel part because it was actually about the same size. So you can see this face. I didn't really change too much. And that is the same old face, just repurposed. So it just kind of worked out in terms of like boiler size, because I do kind of want it to be a little more accurate with a bigger giant boiler like the actual Blue Ridge locomotives, but I kind of like this look. I don't know, it works. The top here, it's the original funnel, the original 2 sandboxes, the original dome. I just kind of stripped that from the original boiler. I didn't strip the handrails just because I figured he looked kind of nicer without the handrails, so I didn't add them. But anyway, that's the original 4 things up there. Back here, I believe these are water things. I don't know. They're on the actual Blue Ridge locomotives and the Sam, so I just added them with a bit of toothpick. And then this little bit here, I believe that's a vent over top of the firebox. And the firebox does look a little weird. It's just a sheet of paper curved down. You can't really see it due to the light, but oh, there you go. So it's just kind of angled and curved just like that. That way I'm able to get like a, I don't know, a representation of the firebox. So yeah. It's the original cab. Nothing really done to it. Maybe some touch up on the black here and there, but otherwise it's the same cab. Otherwise it's just basically glued to the boiler this time instead of the chassis to allow articulation. So the footplate, it's just a piece of cardboard. I kind of showed you under there, with covered up sides with a white rim. I kind of like it, to be honest. It gives it a good look. And I just like that he's now able to articulate like an actual Blue Ridge. It just makes him look so much better than having this part fixed and him swinging out all the way out here. So he looks so much better. I'm really proud of how he came out. And the magnets do shorten the space in between, so it works out. Now onto his tender. His tender's probably the most change that I've done, as I've made it longer. And actually, with Sam with his tender is about the same length as the original Sam. So here's just a zoom out view so you can kind of see what it looks like. So it actually works for my shelving space because the magnet length made up for the extra wheel, so it just kind of worked out. Anyway, so what I did for his tender is I took a off-brand Coach thing that I'd gotten a while ago, and I added cardboard onto the sides to give it the kind of curve detail there, and to make it a bit thicker, like the actual Blue Ridge tenders. Sorry, I just realized I was out of frame. Anyway, so it's wrapped in masking tape, pretty much like a lot of other of my tenders, like my non-corridor and corridor tenders I've done for the past few A3s. Anyway, so it's just painted simple black with Virginian on the side instead of VR like the original. I figured now that I've started using like paper for my lettering and numbers, all that, I decided just to print out Virginian on it. So I think it looks a lot better compared to the just VR. So yeah. Ooh, excuse me. Masking tape did go over the top here just to make it smooth, because I didn't feel like adding cardboard. The coal load, that's just a tender load with a cut-up piece of tender, or sorry, a cut-up piece of plastic coal. I had cut the original because I had used it for Adam's coal bunker, so it was just a good use of that piece that I probably wouldn't use for a normal tender, to just kind of fill in that little detail, because it wasn't too long. So yeah. There's not much else to say on Sam, actually. I really like how he turned out. He looks so much better than the original. I did decide to keep the original black, just because I think it looks a lot better on Sam. Like, granted, I do like the mint, and if I ever do make another one of these, I might make a green mint color Sam in the future, but for now, this is gonna be my Sam. Oh, and I did add his name up front, just because I didn't want to add it onto the firebox back here, so I just kind of did that. So yeah, that's my Sam. Really love how he turned out. He looks so much better. It looks a little weird looking at him from the front with his boiler so far up in his face that's so small, but you kind of get used to it after a little bit. So, yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye!